No one asked for it, but this is my reed wrapping tutorial because I'm currently procrastinating on practicing. So this is what my blank looks like about 24 hours after letting it dry and form on the mandrel. Typically, I like to let it sit for like 3 days, but I'm impatient and I need reeds desperately, so I'm just finishing it now. I like to keep my thread on this drying rack that I got from Amazon, just because it like fits perfectly and it'll like spin as I'm using more thread. It's kind of nice. The first thing I do when I'm wrapping my reed is I line up the thread with my forming mandrel, and I put my reed on top of that so that the thread gets trapped in between the mandrel and the reed. And you want to make sure that the bottom wire braid is facing you and that the thread is lined up with that as well. You can see that the thread isn't going to go anywhere if I pull on it. You want to make sure you have the reed on there tight enough that you can pull on it and the thread won't slip out. So I'm going to take the thread and go up over the braid and then come back down, and then I'm going to start wrapping underneath the wire about halfway, and then you'll go switch above the wire, and then you'll go back under, and then right before you went up last time, you'll go up again. And you're doing all this while you're spinning the mandrel. It's a lot of like eye-hand coordination. And then same thing going down, and you'll keep repeating that pattern for the whole turban. Okay, so it's kind of a mess, but it's okay because we can still clean it up later. So what I'm doing now is after you finish your turban, you're going to wrap around the very bottom of it twice. And then once you come back around, you're going to find a good spot to come back up. And then you're just twisting the thread the whole way up to the second wire. And I like to pull down on the wire just to make sure everything is tight and you can fit as much of the thread on there as possible. Okay, so now we have to tie off the thread, and I did not do a good job of showing this, but you're going to hold the thread with your thumb against the reed so it doesn't go anywhere, and then you're going to cut the thread maybe like a few inches. You're going to wrap it, loop it around the reed, and then pull the end of the string through. So you're tying a knot around it. And you want to make sure that the thread is underneath the wire, which I didn't do, and now I have to fix it. Okay, and then you're going to pull it really tight. And make sure that you're only pulling it to the right or whichever direction you were turning your thread. And that's how you tie it off. Now I'm going to show you how I like to clean up the thread and make everything all evenly spaced, because I think it just makes the reed look so much nicer. I just go in with a little blade. You can use like an X-Acto knife, but here I'm just using a sharp little blade. And I'll just gently push the thread to where I want it to go. And I just do that all around the reed until I like the placement of all the thread. And after that's done, you can see it looks a little bit more even now. I'm going to pull the reed off of the mandrel and pull out that string that's still inside, and we're going to chop it off. After that's done, I like to flatten the second wire with a pair of flat nose pliers. And then I'll go ahead and do that with the first wire too, so all of the wires are flattened now. And finally, the last step is just sealing it off. So I like to use a quick dry top coat nail polish that I got for like a few cents at Drug Mart. Or a lot of people like to use Duco cement. I don't really like Duco cement because it kind of gets bubbly and can get cloudy. So I like a nice shiny top coat. You can also use glitter top coat and add a little bit of sparkle to your reed. I love doing that. I like to really just lather it on, put a nice thick coat on at first, then let it dry for maybe an hour or two, and then I'll come back and put maybe a second or third coat, whatever I think it needs, until it's like fully sealed and the thread is definitely not going to move around. And that's how I like to wrap my reeds. There's so many ways to wrap your reeds. I've watched so many tutorials and I've had multiple teachers show me how. And this is how I do it based off of all the information that I've gathered from everywhere. So yeah, there's definitely no right or wrong way to do it. Some people don't even wrap their reeds at all, but it's my favorite part of the entire process of reed making. It's just so relaxing. So yeah, thanks for following along.